up, say.
One time for the hometown, I got love for it, it's real. Yeah. 2 times for the haters, man, cause I notice how this shit feel. 3 times for my family, dog, cause this shit I'm paid.
What's up, guys? It's Matt with the Matt Cutrer Report. Thank you for joining us for another episode. We are with a very special guest today. This is a good friend of mine, my boy, Ashton Hooks. What's up, dude?
What up, man? Glad to be here.
Yeah, dude, thank you for doing this.
I appreciate you inviting me, man. I'm so grateful and thankful to the opportunity. So I'm excited, bro.
Dude, awesome, man. Yeah. So give us real quick. We've already kind of been talking a little bit. We got some really cool stuff for you guys today. I think it's going to be really interesting. But before we get going, I like to do, it's called an elevator pitch. Okay. So if you know what that is?
I got my own idea of it.
Yeah. So it's like we were just in the elevator. If I didn't know you and I hit the floor and we got like 30 seconds to get to the next floor. And I was like, hey, what's up, dude? What's your name? What do you do? Just like your spiel real quick. All right. Go for it.
All right. So my name is Ashton Hooks. I reside in Dallas, Texas. I do acting and modeling. Fitness enthusiast.
Yeah.
I'm also a pizza connoisseur. So like, hey, if you like pineapples on pepperoni, we can all be best friends.
Oh yeah,
that's my go-to for everything.
Yeah. All right. Nice. I didn't know you like pineapple on pizza.
Hey, look, man, you get best of both worlds, and what they say is like, if you have fruit on anything, it's basically a salad at that point.
Dude, that's good. Yeah. All right. Yeah. I mean, I don't mind it. I'll eat pineapple on pizza. I don't mind it. That's funny. So, so let's talk about real quick how you and I met.
Yeah.
So this was back, we were just kind of talking about this. This was back in, what year was it? 2013?
2014.
Yeah.
Man.
And so I owned a gym called Fitness United. Some of you might remember that. And we started on Sherwood Way in Jackson Square Plaza. And my wife at the time, I was married, we started this gym. And it was kind of a private personal training gym, and I met you there. I think. Do you remember exactly how did you come in? Like just one day, or how was it?
This is how it happened.
Okay.
So it was funny. I actually was doing defensive driving.
You were next door, yeah, yeah.
And then I had noticed the gym, and then we just happened to talk. I walked in. And we were just having a conversation, just about the gym, about like your prices and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I just asked like, hey, do you have a job opening?
That's right.
And then you were like, yeah, man, you were really inviting, real warm, and then you had offered the position. I was like, dude, like this is so cool.
Yeah.
This is my first job, like while I'm in college.
That's cool, man. Yeah.
Going to my senior year, so yeah. That's how you met.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah. That's what I thought about you too, man. As soon as I met you, I was like, man, this guy's got energy. Just like positive energy.
Yeah.
And when you meet somebody like that, and because I'm like that too, we just kind of vibed and we knew that about each other, and I thought that was really cool because you've always been that way. And then so you were in college. You were how old, like 23 or something?
Yeah, 23.
Yeah,
23. I was summertime and trying to get better for football. And
yeah.
I just put the 2 and 2 together. I was like, man, I'm finna get in the best shape of my life right here.
Yeah, because you went to Central.
Yeah,
right.
Central.
Yeah. So we both went to Central. I was like 28, I think, at the time. And you, so you were like 4 or 5 years, I don't know, whatever it was, 6 years behind me at Central. But then you were playing at the college level in Abilene, right?
Mm-hmm. I played at Murray University.
Yeah.
So, we actually were D2 at the time.
Yep.
So we're playing like Angelo State.
Yep.
We played like.
Did y'all play Texas State? That's my school. I don't know.
We played SFA. We played.
Yeah.
But the cool thing was that even in that transition, we played UTSA, their first year of having football.
Yeah.
And we actually beat them.
Oh, nice.
So we were on ESPN for like the first school to be a Division I school. So that was pretty
cool.
Whoa. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Did you get a lot of playing time in college?
So funny story. At first, no.
Yeah.
I tore my meniscus my freshman year.
Yeah.
And then kind of like took like 2 or 3 years of just literally just trying to be able to play.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So when I met you and then getting first introduced into how dieting works, structure, plan, just having a plan, and like being able to do that, have that exposure, that also elevated me to be able to, one, incorporate the workouts with the diets to now it's like, wow, I'm just out here doing it.
Yeah.
And I came back the best shape of my life for camp.
Yes, you did, man.
Yeah.
I remember seeing you, like, I didn't know at the time if you were already playing, if you had a lot of playing time, but I remember you doing really well after that. I do. Yeah, that's what's really cool. Man, yeah. And then I didn't even know this. This is cool because I've followed your journey and supported your journey, and I will always, dude. But I didn't know that your football coach actually kind of put it into your mind about modeling and acting and that kind of deal, right?
Yeah.
So tell that story, sort of.
So I graduated in 2015, and at this point, I was like, I just want to get abs. I don't care about being big anymore. It doesn't matter.
Exactly. Yeah.
And my coach had just called me, just trying to check up on me, see how I'm doing.
Yeah.
He was like, hey, man, I see you posting a whole bunch of like football workouts and bodybuilding poses online from your workouts. Have you thought about doing modeling?
Yeah.
And I was like, not really, but if it fell in my lap, sure.
Exactly. Yeah.
That conversation alone, he introduced me to a guy in Dallas who already does fitness modeling. And then from there, I got introduced to another guy named Will Young. He's the owner of Crave Fit Magazine and Weight to Wear products. And he's worked with like some of the top models in DFW, New York, Cali. So it's just like big exposure.
Yeah.
And from there, we had a conversation. And he had asked me, do I feel like he had asked me, like, he's like, what do you think your brand is? Like, what do you think that makes you unique?
Ooh, yeah.
You know,
What'd
just
you say? Yeah.
Well, I don't get asked these kind of questions often.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I mean, I think I got a cool smile.
Yeah.
You know.
Ooh.
So
that's true. Yeah.
So he started getting more specifics about as far as like, you know, more of like my jawline or like just my structure. Long story short, he was saying, I can see you doing this professionally if you just lost a little more weight. And I was like, wow, really?
Yeah.
So when he said that literally told my brain, wow, there's something you never thought about doing but sounds way more cooler.
Yeah.
And I was going to the military, so I was like, well, I'm 28, 27 at the time, so military, Air Force, up to the age of 38, 37.
That's
so
right. Yeah.
I got time.
Yeah, you do. You still got time. Yeah.
I still got time.
Yeah. I thought about going. Yeah.
No, seriously. Yeah. So I was like, I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
And that's what started like the whole me just going super aggressive towards my goals.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
And man, it's been a really crazy journey in a good way. And this industry has actually shaped me in to be the best human being as possible. Really? Yeah.
Whoa.
Honestly.
So you would think the opposite. You know, you think modeling, acting, you think Hollywood, you think it's superficial and there's not a lot of depth to it, and there's probably, you just don't think that there's a lot of, it doesn't come to mind like, oh yeah, there's a lot of morals behind that and it's going to shape me to help me be a good person. You know what I mean?
Dude.
But that's not always true, obviously. Why do you say that?
So in 2018, I'm living in Dallas, right, DFW area, and I meet my manager, Willie Johnson, and from there we go to an expo. It comes twice a year actually. It's called the Dallas Model and Talent Expo.
Okay.
So it's hundreds of agencies, right? New York, Milan, China, Miami. So it's a big deal. Yeah. Costs a lot of money to get in too. Man, I literally threw a whole paycheck in there and said, it's up to God now. Yeah. I said it's up to God now.
Yeah.
So went there. It's a week long, and they have you do a series of 2-person scenes, runway walk, a monologue. If you have a special skill like dance or sing, stuff like that. Yeah. And you're in front of agencies, top agencies, and also a crowd who just pays to attend the event.
Exactly.
So my heart's racing. I've never done anything like this in my life.
Oh yeah. Right. What did you have planned to do?
So it's funny. Right before I did the expo, my manager was telling me, he's like, we need to rebrand you. So I want you to cut your hair, past like a 1, so it's like a really low cut. Okay. Shape it up in the sideburns and cut all your facial hair off. Wow. Now I've never seen my chin since I was like 12.
Yeah. Dang, really?
So I was like, I've always had hair on my face. I was like, all right.
Since you were 12. So 12. Dang.
So it took a while to get used to like being being baby face. Right. But it was so cool because at that time, I'm doing the 2-person scene, the monologue, all that cool stuff, and I'm thinking at the end of it, I'm like, okay, this is just like God's telling me I'm gonna go to the stars. Yeah. And after it's all said and done, it's a week long. I get 1 call back, right? Just 1. Wow. Everyone around me is getting like 4 or 5 callbacks. Really? Yeah. I was a little discouraged at first, to be honest.
Yeah, I would be too. Yeah.
And when I found out who my callback was for, so my agency is Landrum Arts, and they're one of the top agencies in the country.
Oh,
right?
Nice. Yeah.
So in my mind, when it was all said and done, I was first kind of like disappointed.
Yeah.
Because it's like people around me are doing like
right.
more callbacks.
Yeah.
But then I had this moment of gratitude because it's like
that's right.
I literally said, this is what I wanted to do. And this is 2016 to 2018.
Yeah.
This is what I wanted to do. And now I'm getting the opportunity to do it.
Yeah.
So I was full of gratitude.
That's cool.
Yeah. And man, after that, they wanted me to audition again.
Yeah.
This is December at this time.
Yeah.
I auditioned, and by the end of December, I got signed, started working professionally 2019 January.
Nice.
And it's been going fast,
Yeah.
real fast. And I met so many people.
Yep.
I've been able to have opportunities that never even thought of.
I bet. Yeah.
Man, it's crazy. And on top of that, being able to become a great actor also requires you to be a good person, right? Because I'm learning vulnerability. I'm learning how to be able to access my emotions. I'm learning how to be able to also interact with different people in real-time conversations. Right.
Yeah.
So it's forcing you to be able to just adapt, grow, and then I lean more on the spiritual side of things because everything that I feel like personally that happens to me, I don't think it's myself. I think I give credit to God every time.
Yeah,
so it's like God did that. So I'm like, man, this is so cool.
Yeah.
Some of the top things, some of the few things that was pretty cool early on was I got an opportunity to audition for Marvel.
Really?
I auditioned for Marvel.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Come from San Angelo, been being on Marvel. I was like, man,
wow.
She can't tell me nothing.
Yeah, I know.
Dang. I didn't get it, but it's like the fact of like the opportunity.
Yeah.
So like, stuff like that. I've auditioned for commercials like Nike.
Yeah.
I'm traveling.
Yeah.
And before COVID, it was if they audition. So my agency's in Louisiana, but when I get an audition and they ask me to go places, I have to drive or fly.
Oh wow, yeah.
So no accommodations for flight or travel. So I'm going to New Orleans. I'm going to Atlanta. I'm just driving.
What?
Right.
Were you really?
I was literally doing all that for like 2 years straight and working a job getting paid $1,200 a month.
Wow. How are you doing that?
I have no idea.
That's incredible.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I just put all my eggs in one basket at that point.
Yeah.
And was like, I told myself that this is what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So I have to stick with my commitment.
That's right.
And follow through. I can't like go backwards.
That's right.
So
I like that.
Yeah, man. And then plus building that discipline in sports.
That's right.
Yes. Everything was like literally lining up from fitness and meeting you and then learning about like, dieting and nutrition and just having a plan.
Yeah.
And then having one of the best seasons of my life in football just for sticking through, just through sticking through. I tore my meniscus before that, and now I'm back.
That's right.
I'm getting like ample playing time, and I'm actually doing really well.
Yes, dude. That's huge.
Yeah. So I just learned that consistency always wins.
That's right, man. That's what I tell all my clients usually. Yeah, as I always say, when somebody first starts working out, sometimes people come in, they have never worked out before. You've probably seen this. I mean, you train clients, and they're like, oh, I want to work out 5 days a week, and I'm ready. I want to do this full diet. And I'm like, hold on. Like, you're not doing anything right now. What makes you think? Yeah, it's like you're going to burn out like that. Like, you're going to be done in 2 weeks. And so I'm like, if we can commit to 3 days a week, we'll hit every muscle group 3 days a week and try to, get max bang for our buck, change a few of your habits when it comes to your dieting, and make slow progress, because consistency is everything. And I always tell them, like, if that's the key, like, it doesn't matter. You can come in here and you have this mindset, I'm going to be 50% better than last time. And so my deal is 1%. If you can just be 1% better every day, by the end of the year, you're 365% better. Yeah. And so it's like, it's just about showing up and just putting in a little more effort. And that goes with everything in life,
Yes.
And so but also here's the other side of that. And I kind of envisioned this while you were talking, because I can relate to this in a way. It's like there's something that I want really bad, right, that I'm pursuing right now myself, and there are ups and downs, there are highs and lows. And whenever the highs are there, it's great, and you're grateful, and you're like, let's go, and you're motivated. But then when things aren't going as well, you kind of second guess it,
100%.
And that's where I feel like the real stuff is. Like, how do you get through that? Like, what kind of character do you have to get through when it's not good,
Okay, here we go. Here we go. So check this out. So what I take in on a daily is a lot of like motivational things, upbeat music.
Yeah.
I talk positively out loud also too.
That I want to get into. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. And I just try to make sure that like I don't entertain a lot of negative thoughts.
Yes. Okay.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. So what do you do then? Like if, you're pursuing this, like you want to do acting and modeling as a career.
Yeah.
Even when it's not going great, you're still going to pursue it, and you got backup stuff just in case, but you're pursuing it at all costs. But it's not going your way. Are there times where you're like, man, maybe this just isn't right. Like maybe I'm not supposed to do this.
1,000%.
Maybe I misheard you, God,
Yeah, 1,000%.
Right? So what do you do?
So here's the thing that I tell myself, and I tell people who always ask me, advice. You have to be your best version even when it's bad.
Ooh,
right?
Yes. And
when it's bad is when it counts the most.
Yeah.
Who are you when it's not going your way?
Yep.
Right? And I have a strong characteristic to try to see things through.
Yeah.
And I know in my head that if I don't see this through, it's going to bother me.
Yeah.
So
nice.
I tell myself, okay, even though it's not going your way, consistency wins. So keep showing up. Just keep showing up. I heard this quote by this actor one time. I was just watching a podcast, and he was saying that he was talking to his therapist, and he was saying like life's like a heart monitor, right?
Yeah.
You see how it's going like up and down, up and down. So when it's good, it's gonna go down at some point.
That's right.
And when it's bad, it never stays there.
That's true.
It goes back up. It goes back up, right?
Yeah.
So you got it's just part of the process, right?
Yeah.
If you go flatline, you're basically dead at this point.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Because life's about ups and downs.
Yep.
How you manage that is how determines your trajectory of your life,
That's right.
your characteristics.
Yeah.
And just being able to also build that stamina.
Mm-hmm.
I was during COVID actually. I was taking the time to I got signed in 2019. This is so new to me. Mm-hmm. This is the opportunity now because nothing's happening.
Yeah.
I can now tell myself, like, let's get better.
That's right.
Let's get better.
Yeah.
I heard this actor going over this process about how he does his breakdowns for his scripts.
Yeah.
And he had said something so simple, but was so effective for me about how, like, yeah, man, I'm just, adding these reps to, I'm just putting these reps in so that way I can get better. And I was like, reps? Workouts.
Ooh,
okay.
yeah.
So everything's like reps.
Yeah, that's right.
So everything's like reps. Like,
yeah.
If you want to get better at something, you just put more reps
That's right.
in.
That's right.
If you're not a good speaker, just keep speaking.
Yep.
If you're not the best person if you're not in the best shape, just keep putting reps in.
That's right.
If you want to become just
whatever
it is,
yeah.
just keep putting reps in.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Just using that logic
mm-hmm.
and then going through life, it's like, okay, if you want it bad enough and you keep adding these reps in, it's gonna eventually get better.
Right. Yeah. No
so,
matter what it's going to. Yeah.
Exactly, man. So I just try to stay stay the course and know that God got me.
Yep.
And then just do the work. Too. Just focus on the work.
Yeah. That's good, man. That's good. Because I think there's a big difference in people who, and some people might not even notice it. I think for me, I've just, over the past 3 years or so, I've noticed it more in myself. And it's negative self-talk that you do to you quietly, not even out loud. You know what I mean? And it's subtle things, and it's things that. But if you were to say them out loud and write them down and look at them the next day, you're like, dang, I really thought that about my situation and myself. These things matter. Like they talking to yourself that way matters. It does. It translates into every area of your life. And so I think there is a really big difference in people who talk positively to themselves, about themselves, especially when they're down. I think there's just that's a differentiator. Yeah. And I'm really actually personally curious about people who do that consistently, and just like it seems to me anyway that like everything else, it's a practice. Like you don't just wake up and you're like, I'm gonna start talking more positively. You got to do it consistently. Yeah. So is that something that you've worked on, or have you always been good at that?
Well, I've been fortunate enough to be around great solid people. Yeah. Meeting people who are upbeat, meeting people who are also honest with me. I've just been that's really honest sometimes. Yeah. I was in sports, so like I'm hearing everything in the book. Yeah. Nothing can tear me down.
Yeah, I know, right? Exactly. Yeah.
So like, being able to have that kind of stamina, because you're building the stamina, right? Yeah. You're going through things, or you have situations that are not working out for you, and you're working on yourself to have that stamina to go through with it. Mm-hmm. I always tend to think that people who talk negatively is because that stamina's not high. Yeah. And they're just trying to figure out how to like cope. Uh-huh. So people who are around me and people who I care about, I will never let them entertain, even jokingly, like talking negative. I'm like, stop doing that. What are you doing?
I love that.
Yeah, man. Like, it's like,
that's cool.
Like, if you keep talking like that, even if you're joking, your mind listens to you.
That's right. Yeah.
I give credit to, well, for one, God, but I also give credit to like the things that I surround myself with. And football was one of those main denominators because like before acting and modeling was even a thing, I wanted to be a great football player.
Right.
So I was listening to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm listening to like all these great motivational quotes and people who are just like, you know, who walk on fire with like how their life.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm hearing this in my head all the time.
Yep.
And I say it out loud, even working out. You know, I'm saying things like, "I got this. One more rep. It's easy. No, don't worry about it. We gonna get this."
Right, dude. So I think there's something. That's why I feel like, so when people, like somebody's trying to get their life together, and I say this because I've had to get my life together a few times, but I always bring it back to working out, because there's a lot to be learned, I feel like, in the struggle of lifting and working out and getting through workouts. Just like you said, like there are little victories involved in that, you know what I mean, with consistency or lifting heavier or more reps or your body changing and adapting. And it can be used for everything in your life. So there's a guy I follow. I don't know if you know Andy Elliott.
Dude,
do you know
Andy.
Him? Yeah.
Andy's that guy.
Dude, he's funny, man. He's like very polarizing. He comes off as an asshole, kind of. Like, I just, before we got here, I saw this clip. He kind of cracks me up sometimes, but he's in the sales meeting. What he does is like he's a sales corporate leader guy, you know, and he goes in and he goes to like car dealerships and he's like, there's this kid sitting there. He's like, what the hell are you wearing anyway? He's never even met this kid. And the kid like looks at his shirt and he looks back and like he looks all sad. And he's like, what the hell is that crap? He looks like you're wearing pajamas. And he's like, dude, what's up with that, man? Why are you making excuses wearing that crap? He's like, you're not. And so you got Ferrari sitting in your driveway and big jacked up trucks and you got a house on the beach. Quit acting like you do. I mean, show up and put forth your best effort. Anyway, and so, but he's kind of funny because he's real polarizing. But I like that guy just because he says this. He says, everybody always says it's mindset first. He's like, of course mindset is important, but the physical is sometimes more important.
Exactly.
Because once you've got the physical down and you're pushing yourself daily to be a better physical version of yourself, that will transfer into everything else. And it does, man. It empowers you. Yeah.
Dude, working out has literally been like the main denominator to solving a lot of my problems.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be like just like tangible things like I can grab this and grab that. It just be like, if I'm just having a bad day, it calms me down.
Yeah.
If I want to be able to just like, let's say, just take a second to step back and then kind of regroup.
Yep.
I might work a couple of days. I'm like, you know what? I got an idea about how I go about this now.
Right.
And then, or if I'm just like trying to like build them endorphins up, I already know, like, all right, let's go to the gym.
Yep, for sure.
Lift big stuff, drop big stuff.
Exactly, dude. For real, yeah.
Seriously.
Yes, yeah. There's nothing that feels better. Yeah.
And to just throw another thing out there, it's just like, you know, you're building delayed gratification.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Bro,
right? That's a lesson in and of itself.
You're literally going to the gym and working out knowing that you don't see something right away.
Yep.
You're just like, okay, I did good today.
That's exactly
right. And you go the next day.
That's right. That's a lot to do with discipline. That's right. Yeah, you're not getting you're getting, like you said, the endorphin release and I guess the feeling of accomplishment, but you're right. Your body doesn't change immediately.
No.
Yeah. And so that builds that discipline over time because you see it later.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, that's good, man. It's just there's so much to it that's good. I just understand people don't do it consistently. I try to get everybody to, you know, at least try to start somewhere. You know?
And that's the thing. And like I've been like, you know, just like dibble dabbling, just like because people are so fascinating. People are so fascinating in their thought process and where they come from or how they think about certain things.
Yeah.
And one thing that I picked up even being in Dallas is being more involved in learning about emotional intelligence.
Ooh.
So
cool.
It's changed my life. It has changed my life.
Yeah.
I was working as a teacher assistant in Arlington, and I had a teacher. Her name is Zonja Dilworth, and she's like really big in psychology. And she introduced me to emotional intelligence. Never heard of it. I was like, oh, okay, that sounds kind of cool.
Yeah.
But you know, in real time, I'm learning about how to be more self-aware, be more socially aware, being able to dictate between just happy, mad, sad, glad.
Yeah.
So I'm learning this thing. It's a powerful thing because it makes you an even better human being. and applying it to my own life, because I'm in a career where there's no, you work here 20 years, you get 401k.
That's right.
You're just like, you could be here for 20 years doing the same thing.
Dang, yeah.
So it's allowed me to like, okay, I can regulate myself. If I get upset, it doesn't take me 5 days to come back.
Yeah.
I might be gone for like an hour.
Yeah.
Hour and a half, come right back.
Yeah.
Get a smoothie, nothing crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that is interesting. How, emotional intelligence like that, it's something you probably have to work on just like anything else.
Yeah.
Because there was a time that reminded me of something. There was a time when, for me, and I'm relating it to a relationship that I had, but we'd have an argument or something, and I couldn't make myself get over certain feelings, and move forward. And it was emotionally immature, I guess. I just wasn't evolved enough to be able to be like, look, okay, let's try to work through this, because I know if we do, I'm gonna feel better. Things are gonna be better. So yeah, that's interesting. I wonder if there's like a test or something that'll gauge your emotional intelligence. Do you know? I
don't really know 100% there is, but like it's funny because in real time, and I'm always saying this stuff out loud because I think Cam Newton said this one time. He said exposure equals expansion. So what you're exposed to is what you can expand to.
Yeah.
So I didn't know about emotional intelligence. Now, whether I was being emotionally intelligent beforehand, I don't really know. But now that I know, I can, now see what it looks like. Right. Yeah. And when you're mentioning a test, I know, like, if I'm talking to somebody and we're having certain conversations, right? For example, if I'm trying to communicate with somebody and I'm saying, hey, do you see how my tone is? It can come off a little teachery, but I try to also like verbalize like that's not the intention of talk to you like a child. Yeah. But match my tone. When you match my tone, I can hear you. If you start yelling over my tone, my body takes it as like you're trying. It goes into defense mode. I gotta protect myself.
Yeah.
And what I learned in acting and just reading these acting books, humans are selfish for their own emotions first. So when I try to communicate or build a relationship, I'm always trying, come at an even playing field where I heard this one strategy about just listen to understand, then to be understood. Okay. It's a really effective strategy. Yeah. Before the fact of just when you're talking to people, especially in conversations or hard conversations, you're able to, one, have that person feel validated in their feelings. And it's easy when you're validated to have a conversation. Yeah. If you don't fix it, I don't want to talk about it. Yeah. Yeah. But when you validate them, now it's like, okay, now I see where you're coming from. Right. Yeah. Now our goal is to find a way where we both can win. Yeah. Because it's teamwork mentality. So if you're trying to, the goal is to, for example, if I'm in a relationship and I'm trying to get married, and the goal is to get married, then work as a team, operate as a team. We're gonna have our bad and good days, but like at the end of the day, if our goal is to get there, we have to figure out and find a way, reconnect. Right. So it's a lot of inner work, man. It's a lot of inner work. Being in the industry also too, it's like it has its challenges in that because it's so how can I put it? It's sporadic.
Yeah. I bet. Yeah.
It's real sporadic.
Yeah. Whether you're looking to buy or sell, Holscher Ranch Group has you covered. With a dedicated team and a passion for Texas land, we're here to guide you every step of the way. Visit HolscherRanchGroup.com or call 325-899-1403 to get started. Holscher Ranch Group, making land ownership dreams come true 1 acre at a time.
So let me start by saying this year has been the best year career-wise.
Yeah. But it's been 5 years doing this now?
5 years doing this. The first 3 years, literally, I get nothing. 3 to 4 years. Then I get my first booking in 2023, January, for Verizon. Yeah. And I go to New Orleans for 4 days. And then from there, I booked I booked a music video for a popular Christian artist.
What was the name again?
Like Herlevy.
Herlevy? Okay.
Yeah, Herlevy. Yeah. Real popular in that community, and he's collaborating with a lot of like other R&B artists. So it's real cool. Just so I can expect of like meeting him.
Yes.
And then
so you met him and stuff?
Yeah.
You were in the video?
This is the first time I saw how music videos work. Yeah. And I said, wow, this is something I might not do often.
Oh, how come? What
because
was it like?
Well, I get there on set from like at 7:45. It was somewhere in Dallas, and then you're literally in set while you're on set hearing a part of the verse 20 times.
Yeah.
So let's say the verse is, I'm gonna go to the store.
Yeah.
you're hitting that verse 20 times because they're trying to like, oh, let's fix the lighting, or maybe say it like this, or hey, I want you to walk this way when you're doing it.
Oh,
did we like
they're
that?
getting a bunch of different shots and different things. Oh, trying different things. Whoa.
So I'm on set. I didn't get off of set till like 9:30.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, the whole day is gone.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Just for the video, huh?
Just for the video.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, man, so this
and then
year.
the Patrick Mahomes one, though, what happened?
Yeah, so I booked a commercial for Coors Light.
Yeah, it was Coors Light, yeah.
Real excited.
That's
I was
great.
like, wow, it's a big brand, you know. Mm-hmm. It was actually in Dallas, too, so that was really convenient.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Drove there, got there at 8. In the actual audition, in the actual like booking information, it said featuring Patrick Mahomes, but I didn't think he'd be there.
Yeah.
So this is around like 3:30. Patrick pulls up, and we're not. I'm talking about like when I say pull up, I mean he's not in some kind of like fancy entourage, you know, whatever. He's like, if you're imagining like playing like what's that old school kid game like Hot Pocket or Hot Set, where you pass like, imagine like something hot and you're passing it to like the next person.
Yeah, hot potato.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, you know, we're that close to each other.
Yeah. Okay.
So his wife comes in, his agent comes in, and
were there a bunch of like entourage with him or no? Oh, just like, a few.
I think it was either his family or her family.
Yeah. But what do you think he got paid for that? Do you know?
Easily 10,000.
Probably more than that, right?
He probably got paid. Because it's crazy how entertainment is. You get paid to work.
Okay.
Then you get paid if they use it.
Oh.
And then you get paid depending on how well it does. And then you get paid for how frequently.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Huh. Oh, that's interesting.
Like,
so it's not just one lump sum to do it.
No.
Oh, cool.
So you might get paid, like, for example, commercial is Nike. Nike says, hey, the initial payment just for working is $2,000. The usage fee is $10,000.
Oh.
If we happen to use this commercial again, you'll get $8,000
per time or what? It depends.
Just for the year.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then depending on the contract, it could be like, you know, for so many months.
Yeah. Okay.
You know.
Wow.
Or if they're like, we're projected to put this in so many places. Depending on how many places we put it in, then you'll get paid for each location.
Okay. Yeah.
So like, it can get up there, the numbers. So Patrick pulls up. I'm like, wow, I'm seeing Patrick Mahomes. And I didn't pay $20,000 to see him.
I know, up close and personal.
Also up close and
personal. And his wife, she was kind of standoffish.
Just a little bit, but I understood because, you know,
I get it.
She
People always coming up to her, probably.
All the time.
Yeah.
So
I get it.
His agent was like, make sure he was, you know.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Patrick's like, okay, you know, actor, but you don't matter. It's Patrick Mahomes.
I know.
They ran his lines like 30 times, whatever.
Yeah.
They took stuff out, the actual like final edits. It was actually more than that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he seemed like really open, really cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
They told us not to talk to him.
They did?
Yeah, they said don't talk to Patrick. And I was like, okay.
What?
So he's passing by, and I'm like, good job. He said, thanks.
Wait, they told you not to talk to him?
Yeah, they told us, they said, because like, I guess, I don't know. They were like, they want us to bother or act like fans. They actually said, do not pull out your phones. If you see you pull out your phone.
Oh, I get that.
Yeah, you're going to get off set.
I get that, yeah.
So it was because also a lot of the commercials, they're also under contract and NDAs.
Yeah.
So they don't want no one to, you know, release.
Exactly, yeah.
You know?
That makes sense.
So that was...
Damn, but you can't talk to him?
That's what I was like, damn, man.
I know, but you go, good job.
That's I was like,
cool.
good job.
Yeah.
I was like, good job.
He said thanks.
He said thanks. Yeah. So I was like, that was pretty cool.
That's crazy, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's his wife again? That one chick, right? Mm-hmm. She's pretty hot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
They're high school sweethearts.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Dang, dude. Do you think he's the best quarterback, like right now, for sure?
Honestly, probably, yeah, for the fact of like the percentage of like winning.
Yeah.
You know? Because I guess at the end of the day, we don't care about stats. We just want to win.
I know, right?
Even though stats do matter.
They do. But yeah, like you think about that, winning as quarterback is like means the most usually. Yeah.
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 And now he has like, you know, he can do this with his hands because now you got like.
Dang, he's got, how many does he have?
It's like 3 or 4 or something.
Yeah.
I think it's 4.
Wow, man, he's kind of young still. How old is he? Do you know?
He's younger than me.
Yeah, he's like 28 or something.
Something like that.
Dang.
Yeah, man.
That's crazy, dude.
So that was a really cool experience.
Yeah,
that's
just
cool. Being able to see him like up close and personal.
Yes. And then I also thought it was interesting. You said that, I forget which audition it was, but you said somebody told your agent, hey, Ashton got sent, his audition got sent to producers, which out of like thousands, right?
Yeah.
What was that for again?
So it's for Mayfair Witches. It's shot. It's shown on the streaming platform AMC. Mm-hmm. They also had it in theaters.
Yeah.
And I was really close friends with the casting director because I met him through workshops. We built a relationship. You know, still trying to build relationships. You know,
you help him do workshops, like you, or
it's more like when. So I go to acting class.
Yeah,
my acting class holds workshops with casting directors or like experts in the field.
Yeah,
and part of your job is to build relationships.
Okay, yeah.
The hard part is that it costs a fee.
Oh, it does.
Yeah, like so the workshop was like $300. I was like, God, I'm not getting paid $1,200 a month. $300.
I don't understand how you do it.
I don't understand either. But
OnlyFans?
Hey, sometimes I'll be thinking about it, man.
I know.
I'm gonna show back pictures and stuff.
I know, right?
I ain't like these
Dude,
muscles.
Just your back, bro. Yeah.
I'm gonna lie. I'll be like, you want to see a wide lat spread?
I know. All right.
Like, oh, they're going crazy for this one.
I know. Dang, that's crazy, dude. So, yeah, it's a lot of money, huh, to do that.
Yeah, but that's the part of like the journey because like it's forced you to kind of be more innovative.
That's true.
I'm not doing like a regular like. I mean, I kind of am, but so I'm a teacher assistant.
Yeah.
You only get paid so much. I get paid. So I outside of that, it's training clients.
Yes. Good. Yeah.
Booking jobs. I'm out here like I have a homeboy that has a business with like landscaping and stuff like that. He's like, hey, bro, you need some extra cash?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
So you do that sometimes?
Sometimes
that's great.
If I'm in the area and I don't mind, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would too. So as a teacher's assistant, what grade is it?
Middle school.
It is?
Yeah.
What's that like?
Man, let me tell you something. The kids is different.
Why?
They're real
what do
different.
they do?
For one, they act 45, 35, 25. The mannerisms, the ideology of
What do you mean?
I was talking to this one kid one time because I was trying to tell him about like some of his decision making.
35, yeah.
I was like, bro, what are you doing? He was like, you mean? He's like, I was like, the way you're acting in class is not productive at all. Like, what's your goal behind it? What do you, like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know. I was like, let's think this through because you're smart, right?
Yeah.
He's like, I said, if you're, because he was basically making noises and just kind of like being really disruptive. I said, okay, let's ask this question because you're smart. If you were at a police station, would you do that? No. If you were at a courthouse, would you do that? No. If you just met a friend today and he invited you to his house, it's the first time meeting his family, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Would you act like that? No. So what's the difference between there and the school?
Yeah.
He said, I don't know. I don't know. I was like, oh, because you feel like you can get away with it? Yeah. I was like, yeah. I was like, well, that's part of the problem.
Yeah.
And like, I was like, what do you expect? I said, okay, man, how old are you? He's like, I'm 11. Okay, right now, what can you do? Make some money. I can make YouTube. I was like, okay, I'll entertain that idea.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Probably like direct reviews. I said, what's your product? I don't know. Oh, you haven't thought that through?
That's good. Yeah.
You know,
that's
like,
good that you talked it through with him. Yeah.
Yeah, because like I see, like
I like that.
Make the logic make sense about what you're doing because
like that,
literally the way you're wasting time. Like you're 12, you're 11, about to be 13.
Yeah.
You could be if you don't change how you think about certain things. You're literally gonna be in the same place. And by the time you're 25, 30, you're like, wow, I don't know what I want to do.
Yeah.
You know?
I like that you talked it through with him like that, though. Yeah, instead of just getting on to him, you know?
Oh, yeah, because like,
it
doesn't get nowhere. And then the kids these days, they respect more. Their education with these kids these days is way more about relationships.
Is it really? Yeah.
You know, like earlier we were talking about, like, you know, the single-parent household, you know, all that kind of stuff, the challenges.
Yeah.
A lot of kids from the middle school I was talking to, they were like, Mr. Hooks, how old are you? And I was like, why does it matter? Because sometimes it's like, why are you my business?
Yeah.
They're like, how old are you? I said, I'm 31. Wow, you're my mom's age. Dude's like 12. I'm like dang.
Yeah.
I'm like, dang.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like hard to be like, wow, I could have a 12-year-old right now.
I know, that's weird, right?
That's so weird.
Yeah.
And the kids was like, you know, parents around that age, I'm just kind of put myself in their shoes. They're literally just trying to survive.
Yeah,
they have a hard time trying to be a parent.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't got time to do what you're crying right now. I gotta go to work.
Yeah, think about that. Yeah, that's right. So like, that's interesting that it's changed because everybody says that. People are educators, you know. Yeah. That it's just different. But also when we were younger, that's what they said then too, though. Like these kids are so bad, you know. But I wonder if it really is that different, though.
It's a difference. I feel like when we were growing up, it's more about like, cause so for right now, you get a little more talk back.
You do?
You get a lot more talk back. Cause
like, nowadays?
Yeah, absolutely.
Whoa.
You get a lot more talk.
So they used to say that back then, though, too. They used to say, if I talked to my teacher like that, I'd get slapped or beat or, get spank swats,
But the talk back is definitely different because, like, while we might have, like, a justification about why we were asking the question.
Yeah.
And their generation was like, there is no justification. If I said it, just do it.
Yeah.
Because I grew up in that, my parents are older.
Right.
So I grew up in that time frame where there's no, like, reason behind it.
That's right.
You just do it.
Exactly.
If I say anything, it's disrespectful.
Yeah.
This generation is like,
they want a reason. They want it broken down.
I'm not finna do it. It don't make no sense because blah, blah, blah. And I was like, bro, you just gotta do it, man. Like, you're in the classroom. You have no leverage.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? If your goal is to graduate, just get out of here. Like, just do what you gotta do. You don't got like every teacher, but at the same time too.
Is it still as bad as it was a few years ago, where teachers were just quitting in droves?
Like,
absolutely. Is it still that bad? It is.
I mean,
dang.
Can I say it?
What?
So I was in Fort Worth.
Yeah.
And I was working at a Title I school. Title I meaning like it's one of those low income schools.
Okay.
And I was at work, and one of the teachers had actually got sent out in an ambulance because she had cut her wrist in class.
Oh, seriously?
She had snapped and cut her wrist in class, and then she told the kids, call the office.
Wow. Dude,
I said,
that's
wow.
Wild. Yeah.
That's wild.
That's extreme.
That's extreme. So I was like, it's you paying teachers like $55,000, $60, but then like their job's never done.
I know. Yeah.
Parents is acting like kids.
Yep. That's the problem. Their job, like you said, jobs are never done. They're there way longer than they're supposed to. The parents also, like, they're paying out of pocket for a lot of stuff too, for their classroom and for projects or whatever. It's crazy.
Like, it's unfortunate. Sometimes unless you're really good at your field, sometimes you kind of like have to be less emotionally involved, just so it doesn't affect you as much.
Dude,
because the ones who
so
care the
sad,
most,
but it's so true.
Yeah.
The
ones who care the most get the most affected.
Right.
Because it's like, I'm trying my hardest, and then you hear a lot of teachers be like, just focus on the ones that do care.
Yeah.
And then
I wonder if that's the key. Like, I think about that now, like teachers who were really good when I was younger, and they were the ones who were very emotionally invested and they cared, but also there were certain things that, like, lines they would draw in the sand. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that, like care about the ones who actually do care. Some of them they didn't want to be there, whatever. Like, they wouldn't focus on them.
Yeah.
And they taught their whole careers. And they were successful at it. Like, I'm thinking of Mr. Nichols right now in particular.
Yeah.
And so I'm wondering that, like, is that something you would do long term, like a full on like teacher? Like, would you do that like as a full career or no?
I thought about that when I first got into education because I was working in C's, and C's is the behavior. Is a behavior.
Yeah.
And behavior meaning like not special ed to an extent where everyone's in one classroom.
Yeah.
They're more integrated in class.
Okay.
But we have to implement strategies for like their ADHD or like if they have like quick tempers, we implement. That's where I learned about emotional intelligence.
Okay. Yeah.
So like, I had a situation one time. There was a kid, and it blows my mind about how this goes. So it was like 2 years ago. We had a kid who just came from a psych home.
Whoa.
Psych home, and then got integrated into school.
Yeah.
There's no transition. It was just like psych home, integrate. Dude's like 16, like 6'4", 245 pounds.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a big kid.
Yeah.
So he was schizophrenic. He was in class one day, and then I got a call on my walkie saying, hurry up to, downstairs. Come to find out, he saw somebody that he thought was looking at him wrong, and then he just had an episode, start throwing the chairs, saying, I'm going to blow this school up.
Oh, no.
And like 10 cops come. It was a lot.
Yeah.
And then the teacher who I worked with, she was like, she's really good at her job. She's still there to this day.
Yeah.
She's really good at her job.
Nice.
She told everybody, she's like, get out. I'm going to handle it.
Oh, yeah?
Get out. I'll handle this.
Wow.
And her motto is save the bear. Don't look. If we're in a battle, if it's between me and the bear, save the bear.
Dang.
Yeah.
And so what happened? Did she calm him down?
Calm him down.
Dude, she's a G.
Man, because like a lot of kids, how my teacher kind of like explains it, like a lot of kids will see how far they can go. And when they see you stand 10 toes down what you're saying, and you'll get right in their face almost too, then it's like, okay, I know that this one ain't the one to play with, but they respect you more.
Really?
Yeah, you ain't gotta like necessarily. And here's the thing.
That's fascinating.
When you're able to connect with, when you're able to get in someone's head, this is part of emotional intelligence.
Okay.
When you're able to get in someone's head versus like be physical with them, that's where you can really get them. And
Whoa,
that's
interesting.
When they're like, Okay.
Oh, so literally you're saying in some situations it's like a showdown, like how far they're testing to see how far you really will go.
Absolutely.
And so her standing like, okay, let's go. What are you going to do getting in his face? Are you going to hit me? Or
exactly.
And then they do, you know.
And you don't got to like yell about it. You ain't got to
okay,
get like rah-rah
this ain't the one
about
to mess with.
It's just like, I'm letting you know that it could go that way. It won't go that way, but it can go that way.
That's good.
You know? And then they'll just be like, well, blah, 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 blah. And then eventually it kind of gets to like a standstill of like, okay, I was tripping.
Yeah. That's good. That's cool.
It's high stakes sometimes. It's really fascinating. But I was like, this is a stressful career.
It is.
I had to play I had to play some hype music every time to go to work.
You did no way.
Because I was like, it's not going to be a regular day. It's not going to be a regular day.
Dang.
I'm playing like the most aggressive stuff in my car. So I can
going to battle.
So I'm like, in case something go down, I'm already in that mind frame.
Yeah, that's wild, dude.
It's funny, but like, you know, that's why I said I need to get out of like, you know, I had to maneuver from there because for my piece, I was like, this is a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Dang.
But I commend anyone who does work like that because that's tough.
It is.
A lot, especially when you have to go by certain guidelines and rules behind that even too.
Yeah.
Cause it's crazy, man. You gotta prove a whole bunch of stuff. Why? Did you do this? Did you do this? Did you do this?
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. So it's like, yep.
Dang,
yep.
The Matt Cutrer Report is brought to you by Financial Integrated Solutions. Jessica Mossman, former resident of San Angelo, Texas, is offering free complimentary consultations by mentioning you heard about this ad on the Matt Cutrer Report podcast. Jessica and her team have been named Best Financial Firm in Austin 6 years in a row. She serves clients all over Texas and the country. Check out txfinancialsolutions.com to schedule and learn more.
Oh, yeah, dude. So emotional intelligence. So this is a good opportunity to go into. Are you dating right now? Are you in a relationship right now? How's that going?
I'm not in a relationship, but I'm dating right now currently.
Okay, yeah. So do you feel like personally, like, because I just talked about it a little bit, like for you, some of the stuff that you've learned, does it help you in a relationship, have you found?
You know what? It's one of those kind of things that you're not taught that.
Yeah.
So the rule of thumb is not many people know about it.
That's true, yeah.
So it is kind of challenging.
Yeah.
Because you're holding a mirror up to somebody and saying, like, this is the reality of what's happening. And this is the impact it's causing.
Yeah.
And unless someone's emotionally mature to be like, you know, okay, we can actually have the conversation.
Right.
Then a lot of times, like I was saying earlier, human beings are selfish for their own emotions first.
Yeah.
Right.
What do you mean exactly by that? I mean, I get it, but what do you mean?
So if we're having a conversation and you feel something I said,
okay, I see what
you know
you're
what I
saying.
mean?
Yeah. That's what matters the most, rather than how you feel. Yeah. For sure.
Because a lot of times my thing is like I'm always big on like if I'm coming to you in the way that's like, you know, it's a conversational.
Yeah.
My goal is to understand where you're coming from and not build more from it. And if I hear stuff like don't focus on how I'm saying it, focus on what I'm saying.
Right.
But that also matters too. Yeah. Because how you're saying it also affects how I respond.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah.
So it also makes it easy in the aspects of showing people how to evolve in that aspect of just becoming more emotionally aware and being able to learn how to coexist and become a better human being in general.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, dude. So what I want to know, dude, is like Dallas area. What is it like dating there compared to San Angelo?
Okay.
Yeah. A lot of different options? More options?
It's a lot of options. Everyone's moving there. So like,
is it a lot different? Like,
it's so different.
Is it? I feel like we live in San Angelo, we get stuck out here and we forget kind of what it's like.
Man,
you know what I mean?
It can get easy, it can get really comfortable here because when I lived in San Angelo, I knew who was here. With the occasion of,
I know, right?
I know who's here.
That's kind of funny. It's true though. You know who's here.
I know who's here. There's an occasional people just visiting or like college, whatever. But like like the majority.
Do, right. Yeah.
But then in Dallas, it's DW Generals. It's a constant flow.
Yeah.
People are coming and going. People are coming and going. And
that's right.
It makes it cool in the aspect because like you're able to interact and meet different people.
Yeah.
Culturally.
Yeah. I love that.
You know, so it's real cool in that aspect.
Yeah.
The drive sucks though.
From here to there?
Man, that's like an hour drive.
It is a long one, dude.
Yeah. It's too long.
Yeah.
And
do you use any apps like Bumble or what are new? There's probably some new ones now.
It's like I was on Google. I was on Google Maps, and then that was cool for a little bit until
Google Maps.
Yeah. So
that's a dating app?
Oh no, that was a GPS map.
I was like, what? No, like any dating apps.
So like Facebook has its own dating app, Facebook Match, and then
have you used that?
That's probably what I use right now.
You do?
Yeah.
What is that? What do you do on that?
So it's essentially the same thing as like Tinder, Bumble, all that kind of stuff.
It's the same?
Same thing. It's a little more, I guess to an extent, more personalized because
really?
It's only people in your area. Well,
cool.
Bumble does the same thing, but like the people in your area, I feel it's more personal only for the fact of, one, you got social media, so I'm able to see an insight of who you are quicker than like Bumble or stuff like that.
Yep.
And then two, on those kind of apps, I feel more comfortable versus like me and someone on a different app because I was in college. I used Tinder.
Yeah, I did too, man.
And look, I had some good
experiences on Tinder though.
I did.
Yeah, and Bumble, yeah.
But then 2015 hit and I just got robots. I was like, we're done with Tinder.
I just got robots.
We're done with Tinder.
Yeah, that's about the time I got out of it. No, wait, 2015? No. What year did I get up? Maybe it was like 18 or so. I don't remember. 19. Anyway, yeah, it got bad.
It got bad. Yeah. And they were like, you need to pay for a subscription. I was like, pay?
Yeah.
I was like,
pay.
We're not going to pay. I'll go to Facebook Match and do it for free.
Yeah. Oh, so it's free?
Yeah, it's free.
Nice.
So it's, it's cool in that aspect. And I've met some pretty cool people, through there.
Yeah.
And that's because this is what I use. Or I meet people in just out and about.
What do you do? Like, how do you approach a girl?
All right, this is the secret. If he wants to know. All right.
All right.
Look, I'm trying to teach y'all something.
All right, here we go.
So, boom. Here's how it goes. You're in a nice little area.
Yeah.
Whether it's like a club, bar, or a nice restaurant.
Yeah.
Right? And how I typically go about it is I see somebody. If they see me, they don't see me, whatever. But I'm quick on just like starting, making the first move.
Yeah.
And just like starting a conversation.
Yeah.
I like to kind of like how I say check the temperature a little bit.
All right.
Just to kind of see like, okay, is how I'm going about it, does it seem like it's going to be effective or could it come off weird?
Yeah.
Don't be weird.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'll go, if it looks like a clear, I'll go over there and then we'll just start talking a little. I'll just go up to her and be like, you like dad jokes?
That's how you started?
I was like, just like that. She's like, what do you mean?
Yeah. And then you tell her?
I'm like, hey, like, if you like, I feel like, I tell her like, if you like dad jokes, then I feel like you're just like, your quality of character is just subpar. It's just subpar.
Yeah.
With a little accent behind it, whatever. Where I float your boat.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, kind of weird about it. It's like, you want to hear one? She'd be like, sure. And I'll be like, all right. To this house, it's a knee slapper. You're gonna literally grab your stomach like this and like wellow.
Yeah.
If that's the right word, whatever. Yeah. Why does ketchup hate going to the club with ranch?
Why?
Because ranch be dressing.
I knew that was where I was going. Yeah.
And that's your
last. So that works?
You know what? It doesn't work.
I was like, man, that really works, huh?
Now, it works.
I bet it works sometimes.
It definitely works a lot of times. Like, in the aspect of like, because a lot of people were like, oh, I like your hair, or like, I like your outfit.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Instead of the typical,
be different, be bold.
Okay.
Acting teaches me to be bold these days.
That's true. Yeah. Well, I think that's more than half the battle, dude. Man. Is approaching somebody and just literally saying anything. Literally. I think most guys won't even say anything. You know what I mean? They'll talk themselves out of it, and you're just losing immediately. I think that's more than half the battle.
Literally, when you're when and this is my perception, not someone's reality.
Yeah.
But literally, when you make someone feel safe, in your approach, they're way more liable to just open up and be cool.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not coming at you trying to like look at you like a piece of meat.
Right.
I'm coming at you like, you look really nice.
Yeah.
But hey, you want to hear these jokes?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, this guy's different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
then a lot of times we'll just have a conversation, and then from the conversation leads to let's connect and stay connected kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So like, I meet a lot of people that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you do that like everywhere you go, or what? If you see somebody that you like, or what?
It was actually funny the other day. I was at a restaurant, and there was this waitress. I was at IHOP.
Yeah.
And there's this waitress. She's really cute, and I was like, hey, I got a question. She was like, what's up? I asked her, I said, I was seeing on TikTok that if you pop a hard 16-bar freestyle, the meal is free. And she was like, what do you mean? I was like, yeah, like if you rap really good, it's free. She's like, okay, go ahead. So I'll pop a freestyle.
You did?
Yeah, I definitely did.
Yeah.
And then she was like, it's not free still, but that was pretty good. I was like, all right, cool. And then
did you get a number then?
I definitely got a number.
Yeah?
I definitely got a number. And then that was that on that part, you know, but just kind of going about it in just like more like fun ways.
Yeah, that's cool.
You know, feel like people like fun people.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's weird, like, but you also know, like, almost immediately if someone's receptive or not, you know?
Yeah.
You just do, like it's, there's just certain signs, you know, like a smile or laugh or whatever, they're engaged or they're not. But I feel like the problem is, though, like, it's, I don't know why, but it might be social media, it might be, well, I don't know exactly what it is, but I feel like, or maybe I'm just getting older. I don't know, but I feel like women are not as receptive as they used to be in certain ways. Like they're almost on defense more so than than it seemed like it used to be. Yeah. I don't know why.
You know, it's funny you mentioned that. So in 2020, during COVID, I was exploring relationships and just like doing more research on it. I just found it like so fascinating about like how like, wow, this is the division, and why is this division so hard and so challenging? Relationships don't have to be that hard. It can be so easy.
Yeah.
We make it hard.
That's true.
Stop making it hard.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. So I was seeing, like, for one, in 2021, this is 2022 at the time. In 2021, I was seeing the tax returns was showing that only the average income in U.S. was between 27 to 45.
Okay.
And 15% of Americans made over $60,000.
Okay.
So that was the first thing.
Yeah.
To the point of people looking for a certain income, whatever. I say most folks is struggling out here like everybody else.
That's right.
So
that's true.
Yeah, I don't know this. Yeah, good luck. And on top of that, when you're looking at the aspects of like how generations are growing up, we don't have a 2-parent household a lot of times, and that plays a factor in a lot of things too, because I mean, if you're a single mom, you gotta do what you gotta do. Right. You gotta be the man. You gotta be the wife. You gotta be the woman. So you gotta do a lot of things. So it's hard.
Right. Yeah.
And when you're trying to raise, let's say you're raising a daughter, a lot of times you're raising your daughter to be able to take care of herself. Yeah. Not like, hey, I'm training you to be a great wife.
Oh,
no, I'm training you.
Point.
You know what I mean? I'm
that's
training
really
you so you can be able to survive on your own and not have to depend on nobody. Wow. Which makes it hard for someone to coexist.
Not necessarily even intentionally. Maybe that's just what the little girl's growing up seeing. Her mother has made a priority for herself.
Exactly.
Is surviving. So she's going to grow up that way. That's interesting. Yeah.
And a lot of times the daughter does become successful in her own endeavors. Yeah. But it makes it hard for her to coexist because she's had the steering wheel so long.
Yeah.
So it's hard to like let go fully and allow someone to come in there. So,
but that's interesting, man. That's so crazy because also, like, if you think about it from probably that girl's perspective as she grows up, she probably doesn't even put as much importance on getting married. You know? You know what I mean? She's not like looking for that probably necessarily.
No, it's there, but it's not it's not the highest priority. Because
it's not like because you know the women that I've been with that really want to get married is because they've seen an example. You know what I mean? Yeah,
and that's
interesting. Yeah,
and even on dates, you know, I'll ask a lot of times like important questions. It's about asking, be intentional. Intentional questions. Did you grow up in a 2-parent household? If you didn't have that example, what are your examples?
Ooh, you ask that?
Absolutely. And
that's fantastic.
It comes off conversational. It doesn't come off like I'm interrogating.
Like an interview. Yeah. Interesting. So what if she says, because I know you did grow up in a 2-parent, right? And marriage is, for you, from what I understand, it's important to you. Important. It's something, if you do it, you're going to, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, like, if you're on a date and you ask that and she says, no, I didn't. I grew up a single mother and I can get married or not. I don't really care. Are you already out, or
to an extent? But at the same time, too, there's grace.
Yeah.
Are you seeking help? Are you getting therapy?
Yeah.
Because those things matter. Because if you don't have an example, you're telling me psychologically you don't know what you're doing, and you're going to if we happen to go become a thing, you're going to this is your test run. But if you don't have examples or have strategies or have ways to go about it,
dude,
your natural tendencies are going to kick in, and it's not going to work out.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm not a guy that yells. I'm not a guy that gets like real like rah-rah.
Yeah.
Because you're getting me out of character.
Right.
If I get out of character, I'm out.
Yeah. Ooh, that's good.
You know what I mean?
That's good.
There's power in leaving and there's power in absence.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So when they see you like, oh yeah, he was around for a while, it was great, and then now he's not here, she's feeling the absence of like, wow, this was important. This is like, he was important, or X, Y, Z.
Right.
It's a lot of complexities that human beings will never get to a point of fully understanding themselves.
Yeah.
But at the same time too, it's a lot of things that we don't talk about because we're focused on what's your favorite color, what movie do you like?
Yeah.
You know?
I know.
I don't care about that.
Right.
I want to know, what is your intention? What are you trying? What is your goal?
No, yeah, dude, I love that you do this because I tell you right now, and you probably know this, most people do not do this until they're already too deep. And so I had this conversation in the very first podcast I did. I don't even know if it made it to the studio episode, but I had a client, Betty White is her name, and she won't even mind me saying her name, but she was a client of mine for a while, and she's married to Jared. They both came to my gym, and at that time in my life, I'd been divorced for a couple years, and I was dating. I was on a lot of apps. I'd go out of town like every weekend, Dallas, Austin, wherever, and I was using the apps, going on these dates. I was having a great time. It was awesome.
Yeah.
But I would get into these relationships that were like flings, like 2 weeks, 2 months, 3 months, and there was always something off. Like these girls were super hot, but they were super crazy. You know? And so Betty was like, well, what are you trying to achieve here? And I was like, well, I mean, I do eventually want to meet somebody, and I would explain my goals, and she's like, are you sure, or are you just trying to have fun? Because if you're serious, then you need to literally almost have a list that's like, okay, these are the top 5 important things that are absolute non-negotiables. Like faith in God, like could be, is marriage important to you? Do you want kids? You know, these different things that if they don't check those boxes, that's it, you're out. Because she said this, she goes, if not, guess what? You can always find something to fall in love with someone over. Basically. You can always fall for somebody. And then you're stuck 6 months down the road. They don't share the same value system as you. They don't want kids. You know what I'm saying? All these problems that are huge things. So, dude, more people need to do that, man. More young people that are getting into relationships need to ask those questions. It's crazy that they don't.
Social media plays a big factor about it because we have more access now. And the access is bad, and it's also good, but it's also bad. So when it comes to relationships, we're seeing people that have that tax bracket has nothing to do with me. You know what I mean? So it's and then we're seeing like examples of like guys taking girls on trips every weekend. It's like, hey, I just told you, like in 2021, it hasn't changed that much. It hasn't changed that much in 2024. The average income was like 27 to 43, 45. In Dallas, the average income was 55. So I can't take you to Milan every weekend. I can't do that. You know, it sounds good. But like and that's why I always focus on teamwork mentality. It's like if teamwork mentality says that this is where he's at, right? But if he's a person who's a man who's able who has a plan and has progress in this plan, whether it's slow or it's fast, right? Then I know that, okay, I'm just gonna, play the part until he's in position. But that's delayed gratification for you.
That's right. Exactly right.
This goes back to the gym again.
Yeah, it does.
Because it's like, okay, well, if there's things you do, like for example, working out, that kind of stuff, you would understand that things don't happen fast.
That's right.
You want to if this is what you want, you gotta be okay with the process. And the process is a big part of it. To make a long story short, it'd be a lot easier for one when we're in relationships to focus on what your goal is. I'm a believer on becoming the person that for example, I wrote a list down for qualities I feel like a husband should have, right?
Ooh, cool.
And the closer I get to that, that's who I'm going to attract. Right.
Nice.
And because
cool.
It's less people putting in the work to find what they're looking for than versus just become a better version of yourself.
Ooh.
Because if you become a better version of yourself,
so good, then you're gonna attract.
You're gonna attract that.
That's so good, dude. I like that, man. That's good.
Man.
And so you're working toward that version of yourself because that's what's gonna attract what you're looking for.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's so good because you're right. People get too caught up in what they're searching for and trying to adapt to find that, and that's not going to get you there.
Now the gray area is don't think you have to have it all together. If you're if you're in motion towards that, right? And things don't always just go away. It just takes the work to know how to operate with it. So if I get upset, right, I know how to maintain my composure, and be able to still communicate what I want and my needs,
right,
without having to raise my voice.
Because
raising your voice means you lost power.
Dude, that's good.
Yeah.
Have you ever been in a relationship like that where it's yelling?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Or like, what about like throwing stuff?
Absolutely.
Oh, what about like beating each other?
I've not done that.
That's good. Yeah.
Cause like man, like it's been crazy. Like in the early years, it's been crazy because like I'm a person that's like this. I process fairness very, very high.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So like, if you see me talking to you like this, why are you yelling at me?
I know. Yeah.
You ain't gotta yell.
You're right.
Well, if you just pay attention to what I'm saying instead of how it comes off, but I can't do that.
Yeah.
I have a military background. Military parents.
Exactly.
They yelled. They were yelling at me for everything.
They were?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Growing up, there is no discussion. You just do it.
Yep.
So I told myself, why would I want to have that in a partner that communicates that way to get her point?
Yeah.
Like make that make sense.
Yeah.
But this is where emotionally intelligent comes in. And I give so much credit to acting because it's required me to explore so many things.
I bet.
And when you're emotionally intelligent, you can identify that she's yelling because she's lost power. She feels I'm not validating something. There's something let's seek to understand first and to be understood. Because I'm trying to defend myself.
Yep.
And instead of defending myself, let me just bring it back down.
That's good, man, because that to me is what tends to happen, at least in my own personal situations. We reach a point, like in a relationship I've been in, where like we stop hearing each other, like you're saying, we stop seeking to understand the other person, and we're selfish about how we're feeling, how we feel like that person has made me feel.
Yeah.
And then solution-based thinking goes out the window, and it's all emotionally driven.
It's all emotionally driven.
At that point, nothing can be resolved.
You know, a powerful quote I was reading in my book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
Oh, I love that book,
dude.
Yes. I love that. I own that book. It's a great book.
It's a life changer.
Yes, it is.
It was saying how if I'm in a room and I'm suffocating, right, and a person brings me some water, am I like, oh my God, thank you? Or am I slapping at that person's hand saying, what are you doing bringing me water? I'm suffocating. I've been saying I need air.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
People don't focus on bringing the air.
Yeah.
What's important?
Yeah.
If I'm saying I need air
and
you're bringing me water, that's not important.
Yeah. Okay.
I need air.
Yeah.
If trust is the foundation for a lot of things.
That's right.
If you don't, the more I call it emotional deposits.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
If you say you need air and I keep bringing you air, now I'm bringing emotional deposits in your bank account.
Okay.
Trust equals our conversations are easy.
Okay.
Challenges are easy.
Yeah.
I kind of give you the example of it's like talking to your best friend. Y'all might have an argument, but like you don't make it to a point where like we're done being best friends.
Right.
You're just like, well, I don't see your point of view or whatever. You might get a little up there, but then you're like, okay, bro, I see what you're talking about.
Exactly.
And then you'll go about your business and have a great day.
That's right. Yeah.
So until you get to that point, that's where the foundation of like, okay, we got to build that trust. Yeah. It's a two-way street. Street.
Dude, this is good because I heard something at church today that goes along with this. This is so good. So I love when God does stuff like this because I wasn't expecting this to happen. So today the whole thing in church was about, he gave some statistics. He said, and I'm going to try to get this right, but he said that couples who pray together, they tend to stay together. And he said, but not just pray together, but pray out loud together. He said, what happens is when you pray, your partner is able to hear what's on your mind, what burdens you're giving to God.
So good.
Like what your burdens are. So instead of holding it in and then it comes out at each other sideways, you're giving it to God, the one being that can actually do something about it. It becomes a bonding thing for both of you because you're both giving it to God. And I said, man, that's incredible. And he gave a statistic. And it was 50%, 55 or something like that. 56% of all couples get divorced in the United States. But those who pray together out loud, I think it was 1 in 1,100 couples get divorced. So it like turns that statistic into garbage.
Wow.
So literally praying out loud together seals the relationship. It's so fascinating to me.
I'm so glad you said that because like that's a foundation because like I put God-fearing women because I don't want you to be led by flesh. Yep. Your mind's all over the place.
Yep. Right? Exactly.
And I was actually studying black relationships, and I was reading, and this is during COVID, I was reading that in 2017 they did a statistic that we had the highest divorce rate, highest single parenthood, and the average black household marriage in 2017 up to 2022 was lasting less than 5 years.
Wow.
I was like, wow, that's crazy.
It is.
So, it just tells me that, it's really important when you're having these conversations or when you're getting involved with somebody to, for one, lay the foundation of like what it is and what it ain't. That's the first thing. Two, I go back to teamwork mentality. Hey, I'm a team player. However it goes to help make this, you know, the best it could be. You know, that's my goal. You know, to for the purpose of the relationship. And then two, compromise. I process fairness really high, but I'm really quick to compromise because a lot of things are not that deep. You know? So I'm able to do that. But if I don't feel reciprocated, and I will always vocalize it, that's when I start to get like, you know, my own triggers start to kick in where it's like, wow, you know, I don't feel like I'm being appreciated as much. And if I do try to, you know, advocate for myself, I've had experiences where it gets defensive or they're just not receptive. And it just tells me like this person's not emotionally mature enough to have this conversation. So like, you know, and I always tell like, hey, God's be a foundation because if you're led by flesh, there's a lot of things can happen. But by the Spirit, then you know we're more on the same page. And even when you do feel discouraged, God doesn't say just leave. You're allowing God to lead you to where you're able to be like, okay, let me find a way to reconnect.
That's right.
Because marriage is hard.
That's right.
Marriage is really hard.
That's what I feel like happens in a way. Is like the teammate effect. It stops being a priority, you know, and when you're not doing things on the same page and moving in the right direction and making progress together, and your own selfish needs and wants and all that become the priority, then you stop worrying about what the other person needs, you know?
Absolutely.
And then communication gets all destroyed, and then if you're not praying together, you know what I mean? It's like you don't really know necessarily what the burdens truly are of that person, and the other person feel like you don't even care probably.
Exactly.
You know? Dang, it's sad, man. So have you, now this might just be an absolute, I mean, because this might be an absolute stereotype, but women in Dallas, there's a thinking that they're more materialistic. Have you ran into that, or is that not necessarily true?
I've ran into it.
They're looking for guys with money mostly, and
well, I've ran into it, and not in the most like outward way, but like I've ran into it just based off of like how you interact with me. So if I see a person and I take you on a date, whatever, and I don't see it being reciprocated at some kind of point, then I know that, for one, okay, it's appearing like a one-way street. So I'll always, you know, vocalize like, hey, you know, for me to feel safe, because I'll use those words like safe, vulnerable. For me to have those feelings, I have to feel like we're on the same page. You know? And then lastly, it's just like, I have to feel that you're also going to bring it back in the wash, recycle the energy, right? You see me doing things from you to you, it doesn't have to be the same. It's what's the word? It's a term I'll make it easy. Just bring it back in the wash. Just bring it back in the wash. And once I see that, it's like a lot of things can move with that.
So what do you feel like you definitely want to get married, like for sure?
Absolutely.
You do? Yeah. And is that something you want to do soon, or does it matter to you?
I'm always open to the idea. I'm in a career that's really like spontaneous, and it takes a lot of understanding. Because we could plan to do something today, and then audition might pop up. I have to do that. Then we can go back to this. You know, I've learned how to manage that a lot better these days because it's not as, you know, unknown. It's more secure now. But that's something I really want to do. And when I go on dates, I make it known very fast. I'm intentional. I don't want to waste my time. And just be on some like going on dates just for fun. Like, we're trying to go the long way here. And I don't want to get divorced. You're not leaving. I'm not going nowhere.
That's good. Yeah, dude. So I want to know real quick, because I didn't know this. You were going to go into the military after college. What branch were you going to go into?
Air Force.
You were going to go to the Air Force? How close did you get?
So it's funny. After I graduated, the counselor at school was like, "Yeah, become an officer in the Air Force. Get your degree. Great plan." I get out of college 2015. They're like, "Oh, your degree doesn't mean anything." I was like, "Oh, okay."
What was your degree?
Fine arts.
Mind you.
So I was like, I guess, but I wasn't too discouraged because I was like, well,
so you couldn't be an officer? Is that what it was?
No, they said like E2 or E3, but I was like, I get a place to stay, I get food, and then whatever. It's like being in college, but getting paid this time. So I took the ASVAB, I failed, and then I was like, okay, I'll just study for the ASVAB again. And then, well, not the ASVAB, the It's the test you take before entering the.
That's not the ASVAB?
I think it's the. I thought it was the ASVAB.
Yeah.
Whatever the case may be,
it.
you know, we're on the same page.
Yeah. It's hard. Yeah.
And so I took that, failed it, studied for it, had the conversation, and then after I realized this was a possibility, I was real close with one of the Air Force recruiters for the reserves.
Yeah.
And actually told me, he's like, yeah, man, you got time. Like, if you want to wait.
Okay.
36, 37. I was like, I'm 27. I got plenty of time.
You do. Yeah. I mean, you still do. How old are you right now?
31.
Oh, gosh. You do, man. Yeah. I was going to go like a year ago, man. I was at 36, 37. I was going to go, man. Yeah, that's crazy, dude.
Yeah. It's kind of scary right now.
It is, right. It is. It's different.
I was like, it's real different. I was like, whoa, I don't know if I do it right now.
No, dude. So we're running out of time, but real quick, this is something I like to do. I mean, we could go forever. There's so much I want to talk to you about, dude. Seriously, like there's some really interesting things we could talk about. But what are 3 things that you're really grateful for right now in your life?
Okay. I'm really grateful for, one, the God I serve, because with practice, I'm getting better at it.
Yeah.
It's allowed me to have more, I'm showing more empathy, being able to kind of like do is this in God's work, and then also just like I get really like amped up when I see people who are on the same page, and we can have that kind of conversation.
Yeah, for sure.
2, support, because in the career I'm in, unfortunately, I have to, like, for example, I have to always like ask for auditions helps. Like, hey, can you be a reader for me?
Oh yeah.
I'm always like inconveniencing somebody in some capacity. So I try, like, I'm thankful for people who genuinely want to see me succeed.
For sure.
And wants me to win.
Yeah.
So there's that support.
Yep.
And then 3, the mindset of delayed gratification.
Yeah.
To go for the things that I want.
That's right.
I could get, oh, I'm impatient. I don't want to do this no more. But when I see the bigger picture, and then past life has shown that when you're consistent, it does work.
That's right.
So,
yes, dude,
I'm like, hey, it's gonna work.
It's going to
work.
Yes, man, keep going, dude. I promise you, you're only 31.
Yeah,
dude, you got all the don't fool yourself and think you don't have time, because you do, man. You're gonna do it. You're gonna
appreciate
do it.
that so much, man.
I believe in you,
dude.
100%. Yeah. Heck yeah. Thank you, dude, for doing this.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, man. This was great.
It's amazing.
Yeah. All right, guys. We're out of time. Thank you for joining us. This has been the Matt Cutrer Report. This was Ashton Hooks, and we'll see you next time. 'Cause this shit done paid our bills, and I get 4 times my net worth from a year ago with no deals. Did it all.